All right, good afternoon, ladies, gents. It's 1:30 or almost 1:30 CET time. It's the 8th of February 2017. My name is Piotr. Welcome in our Land of Trading educational live trading room. Let's start with quick risk warning. Guys, trading FX on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. You can sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment. So please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education and gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Boom. We are done with risk warning. Okay. So let's start. Let's have a look where we are. Let's check the calendar. All right, it's Wednesday, right, guys? Very poor calendar. What we are waiting for is the crude oil inventories at 4:30 CET. Then, before the end of US session at 9 CET, we do have official cash rate. So we do have RBNZ rate decision, we do have rate statement, and 1 hour later we do have press conference. So that's a heads up for Kiwi traders, and we are going to have a quick look at the charts, Kiwi charts as well. Tomorrow, Thursday, it's gonna be poor again. As usual on Thursday, we are going to have unemployment claims, weekly unemployment claims out of US, and then 7:30 p.m. CET time, we are going to have the Bank of England Governor Carney speaks. So that's heads up for pound traders, all right? And Friday, during the Tokyo session, we are going to have RBA monetary policy statement, Chinese trade balance. Then during the European session, we are going to have manufacturing production out of UK, and then we've got the job market from Canada, and at 4 p.m. CET we do have preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment, as well as there are going to be NISA GDP estimate for UK. If we are talking about the calendar is poor, one may argue it's good because we have a chance for technical trade. That could be true as well, but taking into the consideration that all of us have to follow real Donald Trump Twitter account, because that could be the case for trading as well, right? Lately, so not only calendar, but also Mr. President Trump Twitter account to follow. All right, so let's start with dollar Swiss franc at the very beginning. Okay. Very interesting thing. Going on dollar Swiss franc. Actually, dollar index, that's the very first thing. The important thing is that dollar index get back above 100, right? That's the good thing. Also, dollar get the support from Dow Jones, we've moved back above 20,000. So that's dollar positive. All right. So in that case, as long as we are above 20K on Dow Jones, I'm not sure how long we are going to stay above 20K, because I'm getting more and more bearish, but I'm not. I've been trading a bit from the day trading perspective, especially yesterday. I've been trading a bit short Dow Jones on a failure at 20,135. But anyway, we don't need it anymore. Okay, dollar Swiss franc. That's the daily chart. Okay. All right. Right now, what's going on? We are testing this breakout point, right? Daily chart, green color, just a reminder. So we are testing this this breakout level, right? So the green line here, that's what we are testing right now. And we were trying to break through that level. All right. And now we are get back above. What I'm looking for is gonna be better visible on a shorter time frame. Within the next few minutes, we are gonna to switch to smaller time frame. What I'm looking for is to retest this zone, right? And especially I'm taking into the consideration this break here. One second. Jeez, yeah, it's working. I'm taking into consideration this break here. That's the 99.56. All right. So I'm looking for a retest of this zone 56.2. Let's say 40. I'm looking for positive price action on smaller time frame, and I'm looking for a return back at least to 103.22. All right. Especially that the trend line has been broken. So I'm looking for, additionally, I'm looking for a retest of the broken trend line. All right. So let's cancel a few lines. So that's the case with dollar Swiss franc on daily chart. Let's switch lower. All right, and it doesn't look great here. It doesn't look great intraday, because looks like that's the intraday. So any kind of the yellow or orange color represents. Looks like we tested the level during the Tokyo session. All right. We didn't go through the top here. Okay, so we know where we are on a daily. Here is we tested the level during the Tokyo session, but okay, if you are not long, then what could be the case to try? How can we try to join the party? How we can try to join the party eventually to the upside? And actually, to be honest with you, I'm bull as long as we are not gonna close on a daily chart below the trend line, right? So let's get back for a second here. So as long as we are above the trend line here on daily, I'm bullish. Once we are gonna to close, get back below the trend line, below 99.40, actually below first 99.55, 99.40, below the trend line, and close below 98.85 will confirm bearish case. 200 daily moving average as well. All right. So currently I'm bullish, but as we may see here, bulls may face resistance towards 130. $125, 130. Right? What I'm looking for. Okay. I do expect some kind of the consolidation within 99.50 towards parity. All right. I do expect some kind of the consolidation, and in my opinion, what I would like to see, all right, we do have, or we tested this level twice already. Okay. What I'm looking for a third test of this zone, bounce. I'm looking for a false break to the downside to retest this demand, to retest the lower line based on the daily chart around 99.40. I'm looking for a move back to our original consolidation zone, and that's gonna be my long. Why I'm not gonna to take the long on the test of this demand on the trend line, guys? That depends. The scenario we are talking about right now, it's like false break trade to the upside, right? So it's like more conservative entry. I'm gonna to watch 99.40 on a smaller time frame, and depends on the price action on a, I don't know, 10-minute chart, 5-minute chart, 3-minute chart, maybe 1-minute chart. Depends on the price action here. I may decide by myself to try to go long here, right? But for sure I'm not gonna be able, because that's gonna be, in my opinion, pretty fast price action here eventually. So of course I'm not gonna be able to make any updates on Twitter, right? So what I'm trying to show with dollar Swiss franc is some kind of the conservative approach, and how we may try to benefit how we may try to benefit from this. Okay. Then, as I mentioned, something around 1002530, that could be the resistance. But what's important here? What's important here? If we are gonna, guys, if we are gonna to test this level here, so once we are gonna to get back above 99.60-65 after false break, right? Our stop is gonna be tiny, like 15-20 pips. Let's call it 20 pips. All right. So we need to trade for 60 pips. We've got the space up to 99.70, right? Once we are long from 99.70, so towards 30, 25.30, we've got our 60 pips around. Most probably, in that case here, we are gonna belong around 60-65. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is that we are gonna to have our 1-to-3 entry risk reward ratio. But with positive dollar scenario, I would take half here only, move stop loss higher, because in that case, if we are gonna to hold after the test of this line, and we are right when we are talking about the consolidation, we should easily double the consolidation, so we should easily go a little bit higher towards 10050, 60, 45 towards this previous consolidation. All right. Any questions related to dollar Swiss franc? No. Okay, let's go further. Next thing is Euro Aussie, and we are long here. We are long here as discussed before. So you can see that I'm long. Just not to mess things up, I'm gonna to remove the visibility of that. Okay. Let's start with weekly, and most probably you saw my chart before I went long. You saw the explanation on Twitter. So that's brief update. That's brief update to Euro Aussie. What I'm looking for now, because one second. Just 1 second, guys. All right. What I'm looking for now is to close above this 39.70, right? That's the possible demand zone based on a weekly chart, right? That's why because I got a few questions why the stop is so wide, 38.60, right? Because we have to give them some space here. But anyway, the course of the week we may trade lower, but the important thing here is to close the week above 39.70. Even better to close the week above 140. Okay, that's the weekly chart. The daily, you know the drill. That's the case. Okay. For daily. How does it look? How does it look on intraday basis? I'm also trading this one on intraday basis. Okay. So that's 1 hour chart. We are trying to hold 39.50. Okay. We do have some kind of the visible intraday demand, right? If we are talking about the hourly close, we were able to close every time we went lower, we were able to close higher. Now would be great to make the close above this last black candle, falling candle, right? That would short term, that would confirm intraday strength. All right, we've got 10 minutes to go, and we are and bulls are working on it. So let's have a look what we have on 30-minute chart. That looks a little bit better here, just a little bit better here. So what we may work on here is the false break to the downside. All right. Of course, conservative traders are waiting for a move back above 40 intraday. That would also confirm eventually double bottom here. So any kind of the rally, pull back. So that could be the short-term entry as well. I'm trading here from the short-term perspective. I'm targeting my first target is move back towards 140. So I'm trading medium term and I'm trading short term as well here on Euro Aussie. All right. The thing is, because we are always trying to build the opposite scenario, the thing is that even if I'm gonna be here, even if I'm gonna be stopped out, I'm not gonna make any aggressive move to the opposite side. Means I'm not gonna to try to turn immediately short. All right. Because I would like to see the weekly close. I would like to see where we are gonna to close based on a weekly chart. All right. If it's gonna be below 140, 137, 139.70, 139.50, then come on. Okay, I may think about the changes. Right now, even if I'm wrong short term, means that my intraday position is gonna be stopped out. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna immediately turn short. No, I would like to see in that case. I would like to see some kind of the confirmation, right? Because within the weekly chart, oh geez, within the weekly chart, we are fighting at the demand zone, both weekly and daily, right? So that's I'm not fancy to selling here. Geez, I messed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 9. I messed up these things. Okay, it's better right now. So, any questions to Euro Aussie? Thomas, that's gonna be conservative entry, right? For eventually double bottom, because what I was talking about, false break, possible false break, strong rally to the upside. You have to be careful before you're gonna to join in, right? I mean the conservative entry. So you've got the clean double bottom, eventually with the failure at the bottom here, so positive sign. So then, as a conservative trader, you wanna see the pullback towards the previous demand. Okay, why do I think that here is gonna be the demand? Very easy explanation, guys. Once we are gonna be able to go through this point, don't forget that from here we made lower low. So there is a supply right now here. Once we are gonna to break through that level, means that we are gonna to cancel the supply and we are gonna to replace this supply by possible demand. So once we are gonna to get back to the demand, market should retest the demand to check how strong this demand is, right? But that might be the case. We wanna join this demand here because it was strong enough to push the prices higher. Okay? So that's how I see the conservative entry. Radek, there is a problem on my platform here. I don't have indices here. As I mentioned on the very beginning, not sure if you are from the very beginning. I'm bearish on the indices, but I'm going to have a problem here. I don't have indices on this platform, so I'm gonna to make an update on Twitter. But thanks anyway. I'm bearish as well on indices. Cheers. All right. So we are done with dollar Swiss franc. We are done with euro Aussie. So let's get back to the pound and yesterday trade. And have you seen the tweet? You know, I've been bearish for quite some time on pound. And especially medium term, I'm still bearish on pound. But yesterday, I will try to reconstruct the whole thinking process. My thinking process. Just one moment. So I will try to explain you what was behind my move, my call to the upside. Just 1 second, guys. And actually, it didn't change. I'm still bearish on pound medium term. But that's the case when you have plans both sides. That's easier to make the decision. When the opportunity to the opposite side arises. Come on, I'm gonna to bring different platform here. I'm ready with pound here, so I'm not gonna to. That's the daily pound chart, and we were discussing it a few times. First, let's start with this trend line. You know, there is many different schools how to draw the trend line, right? If we are gonna to put 20 traders into the trading room, right, and we are gonna give them the same chart and we are gonna to ask them to draw the line, most probably we are gonna to get 20 different trend lines, right? Do you agree with me? Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that exactly that's right, because that's how it works. Many different schools how to draw the trend line. For me, it's usually what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get as many touches as possible, right? So it's some kind of combination. I'm gonna to leave this one, and I'm gonna to show you the whole process how I'm trying to adopt the line, because once it's here, and this green line here is most probably from here. So then once I have this line on a higher time frame, that is in place, and you know, that's something I can work with in the future. So it's a daily chart, but guys, trying to not to mess up, I'm gonna to use the yellow line to show you how I'm thinking about the line, right? Okay, so the first is trying to get those two points, right? As a low and lower low, trying to make it that way. And as you can see, that would work. That would work few times as well, right? The yellow. All right. But for me, because I was here when I was drawing the line, and for me, it was more important where the possible supply is, how we were reacting, where we were attempting or making the new low, right? So for me, I've been looking for potential supply, all right? So that's where we are. That's where we are right now. We are here, so the green trend line, potential supply. So going back to reality, to where we are right now on the pound. So we agree that as many traders, that many trend lines. So where we are right now? Right now, we do have some kind of the confluence. What do we have? We have a trend line. We do have possible supply based on this cluster here. So I've got my trend line, I've got my possible supply, horizontal supply based on this cluster here. All right. And as you can see, blue line, I do have possible weekly supply. So that's my whole zone here. Now let's get back to our previous live trading room during the Bank of England. Huge miss of selling opportunity. Remember, guys, we were waiting for two possibilities. I will get back. Yeah. We are waiting either for move back here or move back here. And we stopped in the middle of the way, so we didn't hit this supply. And I couldn't react fast enough on a move back here, right? You remember the story. If you've been here, so you remember how we were dealing with this pound. Okay, so medium term I'm bearish. Okay, so what happened yesterday that I took the long trade? Again, we stopped after nice run to the downside, morning, we stopped here. And that was the possible demand zone based on what happened here. Even more, there was a possible demand, and it was the fresh one because we never get back here. That was here. All right? Then, after such a consolidation here, I've been waiting for a move lower. And then suddenly there was a rumor that one of the members, that one of the Bank of England member see the path of the hike in the near future. Okay. And instead of lower, we saw this spike here. And immediately I retweeted this rumor. If you remember, if you follow my Twitter, you remember that I immediately tweeted that if that's not gonna help the pound, then we are of course gonna lower, right? So let's go to the smaller time frame to finish my thinking process. To 15 minutes maybe. So one of the possibilities, that's why I wrote that if that's not gonna happen immediately, we are gonna to see lower prices, because one of the possible way, it was the false breakout here. Okay, so let me make it more clearer. So one of the way possible way to trade it. It was the false breakout and close get back below this break, right? So closing inside short. But my process of thinking was, because this jump here was only based different way, because the break here was based on the rumor related to the hike, right? And because, okay, we had the consolidation, but we had the consolidation within the demand, possible demand, intraday demand, okay? So my thinking process was, okay, we are not gonna get back below, so we are gonna to move back to 2440 to the point where the market decides to break down, right? So that's why the stop was so tight. We were buying, if I'm not mistaken, we were buying 84.88 with 69 offer stop, right? So we had like around more or less 15, 18 pips stop. And we were targeting something around 50 to 60, and that was the way to close this gap. So it was well-defined 1 to 3 risk reward, right? What happened? We were very close. The low was like 69.5 on one platform, 69.4 on another platform. One moment. Yeah, low. Can you see? I'm not lying. So even if you had a 69 beat, you survived. But when I'm trading the longs, I've got 69 but offer, right? It has to hit beat, so 69 plus spread. But anyway, one may argue, okay? So that was the perfect perfect trade I tweeted, right? And doesn't matter if you closed half here, the rest went higher, doesn't matter. What was important here of this process of thinking, it was that, okay, if I'm not mistaken, the risk was defined, right? If it's not the break of this, range, if I'm wrong, stop is very close, just throw it out. But if I'm correct, what was the natural first partial profit taking or profit taking or whatever you want to call it? It was the opposite decision point. And here is the opposite decision point as we break through and went lower, right? So once I knew it, the distance between the entry and stop, and I knew it, the distance between entry and target, potential target, and it's 1 to 3 or more risk reward, doesn't matter if the market will stop me out here, because I had a quite good chance to achieve what I was looking for. And it's enough 30% of the time to be on the right side and still earn the money. All right. Now, very late during the night, because I had a small party yesterday, so I couldn't sleep. Okay. I informed that I'm still bearish on pound, but I do have a plan to be long if needed, right? So what those manipulators did, Just 1 second. So what those manipulators did, without any kind of the hesitation, they took out the decision point, and with one-way ticket to the upside, they hit potential supply. Okay. So late evening, when I was analyzing the charts, I started to think, okay, if we are going to get those lows into the consideration, all right, we make the lower low here. One-way ticket to the upside, we hit supply. So I started to think, okay, where is next possible supply? So intraday next possible supply is here. Okay. So what I did, and I tweeted, so most probably you saw it. So what I did, I simply measured the first move to the upside. I copied this line, and I've been looking for possible, I don't know, ABCD, whatever we want to call it, any similar in size move to this supply zone, right? So I've put the line, I've started at supply. So I've been interesting to have the line ending here. So automatically I get possible demand. And you know what? Look what those manipulators did. Is it possible that we are going to retest previous swings? So there might be the case. But what else? What is even more important? What is even more important? That's the breakout, the real one, took place here. So, if that break, they need some money to take these prices through this level. So means that again, we have our demand here. So I'm bearish. Intraday, I'm looking for 26 plus to start to look for selling opportunity, but I'm ready to act if needed, if we are gonna to retest 24 to try to take the advantage of the possible 200 pips rally, because that's 124. Right? So that's the case I'm always trying to explain you. Okay, one thing is if we have some kind of the bias on the particular instrument. That's the one thing. That's the first important thing. And in case of pound, I'm bearish. Right? But what only most probably 10% of the so-called educators are do, they are trying to build the alternative scenario. What if, right? Others are blindly trying to force their view to the one side. So I'm bearish. I know where to look for, I think I know where to start to look for shorts, but I do have a plan, emergency plan B, in case we are gonna first see 24 again, right? So then I will simply try to trade this measurement move. So that's my plan B. Okay? Any questions related to pound? Any questions related to what we were discussing here on the pound? Great, thanks. Thanks. Okay, so we can go further. So I'm going to remove this platform. We are going to get back to the old platform. Smart move. Okay, so let's minimize it. All right, guys. So as I'm recording this live trading room, so I'm gonna to stop recording right now. So if someone wants to watch it later, couldn't participate in the live trading room right now, I'm sorry. The rest analysis is gonna be only for those who are here today. So just few seconds. Let me stop the recording.